Hiya, welcome back to the channel. So, announced this week, the Renault 5 is coming back. Yes, get in! The Renault 5 is coming back as a very stylish and very striking EV. It's being launched as part of a release of 7 new electric cars before 2025. Some bit of background if you don't know much about the Renault 5. If you're my age you will, if you're a bit younger obviously you won't have ever heard of it. It's a huge success story for Renault in the 1970s, right through to the mid-90s, eventually being replaced by the Mark I Clio. The baby Super Mini was all things to all people, from a shopping trolley right the way through to the fast Gordini and GT Turbo models. This week, Renault's group boss, Luca De Meo, and the design chief, Gilles Vidal, a pedigree which includes working at Fiat with the rebirth of the massively successful Fiat 500, the futuristic design language of all current Peugeot cars, including the new E-Legend. Released some amazing pictures. Have a look at these.
Hello, I am Gilles Vidal, Design Director for Renault, and I'm very happy and excited to introduce today the new Renault 5 show car. Now, one might say this is retrofuturism, but in fact it's a very modern approach to an electric car, reactivating the memories and the emotions of a historical icon and integrating the most modern technologies is actually one of the strongest statements you can make nowadays. So you recognize the silhouette instantly, and yet we developed a very fresh, modern and clean design language. We worked on the proportions of the car so that we could integrate all the current constraints and yet respect the historical model. We worked on all the details on the car and gave them new functions or new meaning, like the front grille on the bonnet, which now becomes the charging point for the batteries of the car, or that red stripe running along the roof and the muscle around the wheels reinforcing the character of the car. We even gave it those cheeky eyes that the Renault 5 had, but with a lot of technological content to complete the picture. Now this is such a statement on its own that it doesn't especially represent the next steps of the Renault design evolution. That will be a story for another day, but meanwhile please enjoy this one because we will make it.
It's easy to see that if they don't change the concept image too much and they stick to the design, this could be a home run for Renault. I mean, look at that. Gorgeous thing. I'll be honest, if it looks like this when it's finished, I'd be tempted to lease one myself. I really mean that. I would. I love it, the look. I just have to have one. In regards to the colour, I love the kind of golden yellow colour. If anyone's known me for a long period of time, you all know I do love a yellow car. And if you go back to the 90s, you will remember my Citroen Saxo, the bright yellow open scandal model with the Webasto roof that I had. This harks back a little bit to that. That's probably why I like it so much. There's been no information on pricing as yet, and there hasn't really been much sort of released about the interior. You can clearly see from some of the images that it looks like it has quite a traditional Renault interior. The headrests look like they've got LEDs built into them, so there may be some speakers built into those. It looks like it's got a heads-up display as well, or some kind of properly futuristic dashboard. It's going to be fairly futuristic. It's a Renault. They always tend to put crazy stuff in all their cars. Gilles Vidal mentioned about retrofuturism, which is an interesting concept, but it is logical. If you're trying to convince everybody who has normal cars to move over to EVs, but they don't have as much emotion, there's no rally pedigree, there's no sort of teenage kicks, there's no middle-aged people trying to relive their youth. They're almost like a white good. Whereas if you build the character and build the nostalgia into the product, you get the buy-in. People actually engage with it and you get a little bit more passion. I love that. It's genius, really. Grade 1 marketing. I'm guessing this will also sport the new green number plates if the legislation changes. So show everyone that it is actually a pure EV. So rather than the yellow and white ones that we currently have, you'll have specific green ones just for EVs, and also it'll be free to use in London. If we are really having a massive push on to move over to EVs in the next 10 or 15 years, then I think retro EVs are possibly one of the ways forward. I mean, I can just imagine myself in 2035 in a dealership somewhere trying to decide whether to buy an electric Opel Manta or an electric Ford Capri. I think I will leave the electric Probe alone though. That sounds quite painful. You never know, they might even make an electric Calibra. And that would be good. I'd have one of them. Thank you for watching. Please leave comments below, maybe of any retro cars that you'd like to see again in EV format. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Okay, take care. Stay safe. Bye-bye.